This video is sponsored by PCBWay. More on them in just a bit. Hey guys, welcome back to brightnighttech. My name is Berto and today we are working on part 2 of my 3D printed Batman v Superman battle helmet project. Now last time we printed it out, got it all sanded and smooth. This time we're going to do some painting and some battle damage, and man did I run into some painting issues. But enough talk, let's get right into it. Alright, so last time we did our last round of sanding, and here it is. Next, we are going to start with the painting. Alright, we are going to do a silver metallic base coat, and then I plan to cover it with some graphite powder to give it an even more silvery kind of gunmetal look. This is a new technique that I'm trying with the silver base coat because normally you use a different color. Here it is all silvered out. Looks pretty cool this way. I could even just leave it this way and I would be pretty happy. But alas, we are going to try our experiment. Okay, here it is all ready and dry. So normally what you do is you take this graphite powder with some black base coat. I did this with my Mandalorian helmet. So black gloss base coat and then the graphite, and it gives it this beautiful silver look. So that is what we are going to try today, except I wanted to try with a silver metallic base coat because I think that might give it a very interesting look. I loved my Mandalorian helmet, and I know that the proper way to do is gloss black, but let's just try this experiment. I'm going to take some graphite powder, and then we're going to rub it on there vigorously, and it is not doing anything. It is dulling the silver, but that's pretty much it. That seems to be just from the friction of the cotton. The graphite doesn't really seem to be doing anything for it in terms of color. So that does not seem to be working. Yeah, it is not sticking at all. Okay, we are going to try something. I'm going to try to do a clear gloss coat and see what happens. So here we go. The gloss clear coat is on there. We're going to try again and see if it sticks, because I've seen it do that better before with other colors, and barely anything. Yeah, it's not going to work. So let's pivot again, and I'm going to bust out my airbrush now. Okay, here we go. I know I have terrible technique. I don't do this very often, and the airbrush clogged earlier, so I had to spend an hour doing that. But while I work on this, let's hear from this video's sponsor. I want to take a second and thank our sponsors, PCBWay. If you don't know who PCBWay is, well, let me tell you, they are your one-stop shop for manufacturing services. They are best known for their custom PCB boards, but they also do CNC machining and 3D printing in an array of different materials, among other services. But let me show you guys how to order something from them. Alright, so let me show you what the website looks like. It looks like this. This front part is to do PCB board quotes, but let me show you what the 3D printing looks like. You go over here, you click on 3D printing, you drop your file right there, units of measurement, and then what material you want to use. They have so many: PLA, nylon, steel, and then you tell them, in this case, resin, what color, and then they have a lot of different other options so you can customize exactly what you want for your file. After that, you submit the file, they review it. If there's any problems, they'll reach out. If not, they'll get right to manufacturing. And that's pretty much it. Super simple, great way to get these services. Super easy to do. Highly recommend their services. Affiliate link in the description. Make sure to check them out. Okay, so a million coats later, this took way longer than I expected. Again, I know I have terrible technique, but we got this on here. And there you go. It gave it a beautiful gunmetal gray. I also found some metallic black in my airbrush kit, so I put some of that on there. I think it looks awesome, and it looks beautiful. And next is the part that I don't want to do. We are going to battle damage this. Oh boy. Okay, so you can see this beautiful helmet, and now I know I could just keep it this way, and I would be absolutely happy, but I am going to attempt to do battle damage for the first time. I don't want to do this. We're going to take some different tools and just rough it up. And it hurts because you spent all that time making it smooth and beautiful, and then you're going to damage it to give it a different type of look. Again, my first time doing this, I'm going to take some sandpaper and go across it. And okay, that took off a giant piece of paint. The grit that I'm using is a bit too low, so I'm going to go a little bit higher and go even more gentle on it. You just want to be very faint, get some corners, some edges. Try to think about what it would look like if it was in a fight. Again, I spent so many hours airbrushing this that it really hurts to do this. But what kind of helps is that the silver base coat underneath is there. So when I scrape it, the silver comes out. So I don't have to go in and do the painting of the silver myself to give it that like actual metal helmet look. I'm going to take my melting tool, which is basically a small soldering iron, and we're going to go through very gently and melt in some cuts. I know, we are melting into this thing very gently. Less is more, so we're just going to do few big cuts, little nicks here and there, just like that. That gives it a lot of character. The big scratches, you want to go very light on them. Don't do too many. Just like that. All right, little nicks, like I said, here and there. There you go. We're going to clean it up a little bit, so we bring down some of that plastic that came up. Now, I did this black wash on the scratches, the deep scratches. I don't actually know if it did anything or helped, but there it is. And I took off this big old piece of paint right in the front of the helmet that I'm not happy with. I tried to put a scratch there to cover it up, but I think I'm going to have to do a few more because it just does not look good. The rest of it looks okay, but let's see what else I can do. Okay, so I've added more scratches on there to cover up that paint mistake. And it doesn't really make sense in terms of a battle, but that's okay. We are just roughing this up to make it look the way it does. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Again, mentally difficult to do it, but at the end, it looks pretty cool. Now, we are going to finish this off with some LED eyes right here. And because I am not going to wear this because it doesn't fit, because I'm dumb and did not scale it, we are just going to put some tape on this. Now, I know the eyes look a little blue, and I'm actually probably going to swap these out with some white ones. These are just leftover eyes that I have. So, but this is basically what I'm doing. We're just going to tape it on there. I'm going to take some Velcro with some adhesive, and then we're just going to stick it to the bottom of the helmet like that. And that's pretty much it, guys. So, nothing else to do but the glamour shots.
And there you have it. As you can see, it looks great next to the other Batman v Superman cowl. I'm very happy with it, but man, that battle damage was really tough for me to do. Not physically, but just mentally. You spend all that time making it look nice, and then you gotta scrape it and melt it and cut it and do all this stuff to it. And I know that's the point, but it's still hard. Not my favorite thing to do, but yeah, let me know if you guys have done this file yourselves and how you guys painted it and did the battle damage. I always like to hear different opinions so I can improve my own methods. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and put in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button for notifications. And we will see you next time.